I am giving you a gift today. But again, I want to thank all of you for coming today. I really appreciate it. It's kind of crazy having a whole event just for me. I just want to thank everyone who came, but I also want to thank very special people in my life who are here today. I want to thank my family who have always supported me through everything, through thick and thin. My mom and dad who have dealt with me in literally every stage of my life. My sister who half raised me, I would say, who's also been there for me through every phase of my life. And I mean that in excruciating, like every kind of way that I was. They've been there for it. I also want to thank my dear and beloved friends who have come that I have invited today. Many of them are college friends, some of them are friends I've known since I was a kid, and it's just kind of crazy standing here and knowing that my life is a thing that has touched other people, and that you have crossed paths with me today. I want to quote something that I think of a lot, is kind of this quote that some people may think is ominous. The way we spend our days is the way we spend our lives. And it's kind of this reminder that just because you think your days are mundane and day-to-day and every day is the same or whatever, that's still your life that's passing by. Some people think of their life as something to live in the future, but it's kind of important to remember that every moment that you're living right now, it's a part of the great story of your life. And I think of that because I look at the people that I'm surrounded by, and I think I've spent my time with them, and I've spent my days with them, and I've spent this little part of my life with them that I hope will grow bigger and bigger. So I want to say I really appreciate all of my friends who have come today, and my family for supporting me through everything. And now I'm just repeating myself. So now we're going to move on to some kind words from my friends who have come that I definitely did not guilt trip or bribe. Oh my God, what? There's this cash in my pocket that may or may not go to the person with the best speech. It's crazy. I'm actually lying. This hobby does not have pockets, and it's kind of uncomfortable. But we're going to move on to our speeches. So I'm going to call up the first person for his speech, my friend Giovanna Mascioni.
Hello everyone, my name is Gia. If you don't know me, I was Ayushi's roommate for 3 years and also one of her very close friends. I remember before I met Ayushi, I was very nervous because I did the random roommate selection at UIC, so I had no idea who my roommates were. I didn't even find Ayushi's Instagram to stalk her, so I didn't know who she was either. But within the first semester, we were already dyeing each other's hair in the bathroom and being the most annoying people in the MRH hallways that you can imagine. We were so obnoxious. I feel so bad for our neighbors. But it was very fun, so I knew we were going to be besties. I appreciate her so much for her sense of humor. She's one of the funniest people I know. She's also one of the most caring and generous people that I know, even though she broke like 4 of my glasses throughout the semester. She bought me new ones, even though I told her not to. She also always cleaned my moldy coffee mug, which I never cleaned, and I still don't. I'm sorry, I've never changed. It's in my room now. But being her roommate and her close friend, I saw all of the hard work that she put into her classes. There were many late night in the dorms, or the study rooms, or trips to campus to be extra studious, of course. And I was a psych major, so my classes were very different from the engineering ones that Ayushi took. And I would look over at her work sometimes and see a lot of numbers and equations and things that did not make sense. There was like circuits at one point. I don't know what that means, but I never understood it, and I never understood it no matter how many times she explained it. So I know it takes a very dedicated and smart and talented person to pass those classes, so I'm very proud of her. And I'm very thankful and excited to be able to celebrate one of my closest and bestest friends. Thank you. Who's next? Oh. Who's next? Okay, I'm gonna call up. Thank you so much, Gia. I cried a little bit, and I'm probably gonna cry more because I cry very easily. But next, I'm going to call up one of my, longest running, that sounds like a television show, longest running friends, Juno. So come on up. Thank you.
So I feel like people kind of have a misconception about like graduation and like college as a whole. They kind of treat it as like you're unlocking the secret to the universe, and they're like, oh, welcome to the real world. Like you're gonna have to work for the rest of your life. You're gonna figure out like everything from this point. It's like it's a lot. It's intimidating, and it's kind of a bummer because you essentially landed yourself in a lifetime of debt to like spend anywhere from like 3 to 6 years, and like a campus where the administration like honestly couldn't care more or less whether you lived or died like on their own campus too. But in all honesty, my story with Ayushi starts way before my scrappy college years. We joke constantly about how we can never stop being friends because we know too much about each other. Like these are secrets that we need to take to the grave. Like she has seen me when I was in middle school, and that in and of itself is already like too much knowledge for one person to have. But yeah, our story goes as far back as 5th grade, and back when my biggest worry that I had was whether or not the boys at the back of the bus would be mean to me on my morning commute, and that was really not a worry for me after a while because she would be there and she'd stand up for me. She would teach me that I'm not a burden. It's okay to take up space. That I exist as my own person, and she'd give them a mean stink eye, and that would shut up all the stupid boys. So go Ayushi. But yeah, she knew just the right ways to cheer me up, and it's by following her example that I learned to really, find my own voice in the world and to not be scared, to just be who I am. And I genuinely mean it when I say she has made me into the person that I am today. We went through high school together. Half the reason why I didn't flunk out of high school chemistry was because she was there whispering like all the chemical formulas and like doing my labs for me, light work. But, she'd fight the good fight constantly. She was the one who taught me that gloom and doom gets me nowhere in life. Nihilism simply wasn't a word in her vocabulary. Sure, things get hard, and yes, there's no way that life is just easy and handed to you on a silver platter, but she was the one who taught me that there is joy and meaning in the small things, that I can find happiness in sharing badly written poetry in my high school's writing club, that life doesn't end because I got a C in freshman biology, and that what college I go to and what job I land afterwards doesn't define who I am. And like that, she taught me so much and continues to teach me so many things. She showed me that I should be unapologetic about my passions, that I should find empowerment in my identity as an Asian American, and that there's a whole wide world out there as long as I have the bravery to, take it from myself. Her dedication to seeing the good, to giving herself grace to grow, and knowing that life can be hard and embarrassing and awful, and to still choose kindness in a world that actively tries to snuff this kind of love out. And so at this point in the graduation speech, this is where the speaker harps about how the graduating person is going to do great things, and you're going to find a great job with 6 figures, and you're going to find a great person to marry, and everything's going to be great for you. But honestly, I have no doubt that you're going to do all these things, that you're going to land yourself, your dream job, and you're going to make $1 million a minute, and everything's going to be awesome for you. But I want to celebrate her for the person that she is and who she has become at this point. And I'm proud of her. I don't want to define her by a bunch of arbitrary milestones. I'm proud of her for graduating, but more than that, I'm proud of her for who she is and what she brings to the world. I'm proud of her for her resilience, her optimism, and her faith. I'm proud of her for her radical selflessness and her ability to make other people smile, to be honest with not only herself, but those around her, for maturing into the stellar person she is. So I kind of started off this speech talking about the secret to the universe, and personally, as a 2024 university grad myself, I don't have the answer. I never will, and that's fine. But I think if someone, really was like, hey, can you genuinely give me an answer though? I think I would point towards Ayushi. I think it's the way she pushes herself to be a better version, her forgiveness towards others and herself, the quiet revolution she sparks against a world so hell-bent on turning us into another callous cog in the machine. That, to me, is Ayushi, and that, to me, is the secret of the universe. So, congratulations on graduating.
And that's why you hire an English major to write your speech. Thank you so much, Juno. The next friend I'm going to call up is my dear friend Autumn, who, by the way, her mom took this picture of me. Nice picture, huh? Yeah. Shout out to Bev. I obviously need to start the speech by congratulating you on graduating. Not just anyone's bachelor's either. This wonderful girl is an engineer. And I got to see firsthand how hard she worked on that because I got to spend... Sorry, I hyped myself up too much for this and I'm freaking out. It's fine. It's good. Just ignore that I'm crying. I got to see firsthand how difficult this was because I got to spend countless nights in your dorm up till past midnight turning in assignments again and again and again and again and again.
I think our friendship was well and truly sealed though when I convinced you to take an ABM lab with me. And instead of taking any other class that would have given you the credits you needed, you dragged yourself out of the dorm and to the engineering labs every week just so you could process discrete signals with me with a TA who did not want to help us. I kid you not, we get stuck, lab 1, day 1, it is 8:30 in the morning, and this woman goes, well, you could put your question in ChatGPT. Ma'am, what are we paying you for? But luckily, I had a good lab partner, and we got through that lab, and we got through that class, and we got through those exams, and homeworks, and projects, and then we came out the other side, and look at all you've done. From that point on, you became someone who I could really rely on for more than just a lab. You're the perfect person to talk to about anything happening in my life. You give brilliant advice, you're validating about anything anyone is ever feeling, and you're so honest when you need to be. I'm so lucky to have you in my life, and I'm so grateful for all you've done for me. When I look back at my college experience, even though this whole day is looking at yours, I know that I would not have made it out the same way I did without you. For motivating me to do work I didn't want to and convincing me to take a break when I needed to, you were such a big part of my college experience. I would not be where I am without this friendship, in the literal sense, because I wouldn't have been invited to this party. And then, the bigger sense, which is I would not be as caring and forgiving and accepting of myself without all those times we spent talking about those things. I can tell you anything and you will give me the best advice and break down what I'm feeling in ways that I could never understand. You are so conscious of everyone's feelings and emotions, and that includes mine, and I'm so grateful for the way you've changed me in the short time we've known each other. But even though we've just been best friends for about 1.5 years, I know that will continue on for much longer. I can't wait to see where you end up. All us engineers have the same degree, but I don't think anyone has the people skills you do, so they'll be very blown out of the water when they meet you. I love you.
Oh, is that cool? Yeah, that's fine. Are you sure? Okay.
Thank you so much, Autumn. Oh my god, I'm losing the